Today in English, we're going to continue learning about the Great Fire of London. And we're also going to use our computing lesson to do this. We're going to do some research. So yesterday you thought of some questions that you would like to ask about the Great Fire of London. You looked at the picture and hopefully you came up with some questions that looked a bit similar to this. So you might have had, when was the fire? How did the fire start? Where did the fire start? Why did the fire spread so quickly? Did anybody die? Where did the people go to? How long did the fire last for? So you might have had some of these questions, you might have had your own ones. Now, do you remember what we need to do if we want to find out the answer to these questions? Remember I said we're going to use our computing lesson today, so we're going to do some research. So, can you remember using Kiddle? Okay, we know that Kiddle is a safe search and everything on there is for kids. So the way to do this is you can type in the Great Fire of London or the Great Fire of London facts as I've done here. You can see below, and that will bring you up with lots of different websites that you can go on. And what you need to do is you need to choose a website and you're going to find the answer to your questions, okay? So what you might like to do is think about your first question. So what I've done here is I've thought about my first question and I wanted to find out, when was the fire? So I've just copied this from one of the websites when I did my Kiddle search, and this was a website and it's got top 10 facts. And I wonder if we can find out the answer. Can you see here? It says the Great Fire of London happened between the 2nd to the 5th of September in 1666. So when was the fire? The fire was between the 2nd to the 5th of September in 1666. It even tells us actually where it started. It says the fire began in a bakery in Pudding Lane. And if you carried on reading, you would find out lots of information too. But what I want to do, I need to write the answer to this question down because that was one of my questions. So if we go to the next page, do you see here? So you can do the same in your book. So you can split your page, you can have one heading with questions and you can have one heading with answer. And then I put my question here. So when was the fire? I found out that the fire was between the 2nd to the 5th of September 1666. That's the date that the fire happened. So it lasted for more than one day. Now, that was one website that I went on to. And then I'm going to show you another website. So this is the question that I'm trying to answer here. This website here, I've just copied this from the CBBC website. And again, I used the Kiddle search. I did Great Fire of London facts. I was still on that website. And then it came up with the CBBC. So let's see if we can find out, why did the fire spread so quickly? So let's have a little read of this. It says London in 1666. We know that's when the fire was. In 1666, fires in London were quite common. Homes didn't have electricity, so real flames were used for lighting, cooking and heating homes. Oh, and here it says something about the buildings being made out of wooden timbers. They were made out of wood, and they were also built closely together. And it says, so once they'd started, it was pretty easy for fires to spread. It said no fire has ever grown as big as the Great Fire of London before. The summer of 1666 had been particularly dry, with drought making it more than likely that fires would spread. So we actually have quite a lot of answers here. So we found out that, why did the fire spread so quickly? So I would write, the houses were made out of wood. And we know that wood burns easily. Also, it says that the houses were built closely together, so that would make it easy for fires to spread. And then there's another thing down here. It says that the summer of 1666 had been particularly dry. With drought, that means that it hadn't rained, there hadn't been any water, okay, so it was quite very, very dry. So that means that the fires would also spread more easily. And what I've done here is I've got that question again. So I had my first question and then I had my second question. Why did the fire spread so quickly? and I've written down the answers to that from that CBBC website. I think actually it was the Newsround website. And do you remember when we're doing research, now you're going to use this research to write a longer piece of writing next week. But actually now we're just doing research and we're finding the answer to our questions. So I've just put these in notes. It's okay to write them in notes. You don't need to write in full sentences. So I've put, why did the fire spread so quickly? Wooden houses burned easily. Okay, that will just remind me that that's how the fire spread so quickly. Houses close together, spread easily. That means the fire spread easily. Dry summer, easy for a fire to spread. Again, it's just giving me notes so that I know when I come to write in full sentences next week, I will know what that means. So what I want you to do is continue with your questions. So you'll go back to your list of questions that you did yesterday and you will go onto the website and you will find the answers and just do what I've done. Now I'm going to go back to the beginning. So as I said, you can go onto Kiddle. Remember, just type in the Great Fire of London facts and that will bring you to lots of websites about the Great Fire of London. Now, I've also put some on here. So this is the success criteria. So you are finding the answer to your questions that you thought of yesterday, and this will increase your knowledge of the Great Fire of London. That means that you will know more about the Great Fire of London. And it's very important that you know lots about it because you will be writing about it next week. Now, the success criteria is you can use the Kiddle website or the other websites below to find the answers to your questions. You must record your answers using keywords and phrases. Remember I said it's okay not to write in full sentences for this because actually we're just doing research and we just want to find the answers to our questions and later on we will just turn those into full sentences. So I've put some of the websites here as well. So there is a game here which is good. It's really good actually, and it will tell you lots of information about the Great Fire of London. So it's the Great Fire of London game. These will also come up on Kiddle, but I just thought I'd put them here for you just in case. Again, BBC Newsround, that's where I got the information from on my second question. And then there's also a quiz, a Grizzly Great Fire quiz. So you might like to try that one at the end to test your knowledge to see how much you've learned. Okay, so I hope you have fun learning all about the Great Fire of London. Don't forget to use the website safely, use the Kiddle search and make sure you write the answers to your questions. And I look forward to hearing all about your questions and seeing your questions and what you have learned.